guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Esther, and if you're not, thanks for staying. Guys, happy new year 2024. Hello, welcome. If I look crazy, I do. I have contacts in my eyes, so
you need to leave.
Don't be alarmed. I was filming like a cute makeup look. But yeah, without further ado, let's talk about this juicy topic, KOREABOOS.
Us more. Ollie, welcome. It's lovely to see you this morning. Thank you for being here. So,
안녕하세요. Hi guys.
hi.
Hiya.
So your love of all things Korean started a while back, didn't it?
So my love of Korea actually started about 9 years ago. I used to live in Korea and I was an English teacher there. And I just became so fascinated with the culture, with everything about it, the language, the food, the people. And that's actually when I started having plastic surgery to have the Korean look. And then it's just gone since then. I've just become absolutely obsessed with Korea, with BTS, with Jimin. And finally, I've just had my transition surgery on my eyes, my brow, to complete my new Korean look. And I've never been happier.
오늘 학교 개교 기념일이라 오빠 불찍 업무 왔는데
오빠
응, 왜?
오빠
응, 왜?
좀 봐봐.
For an Asian boyfriend. Why? Because Asian boyfriends are a lot nicer than my white boyfriend. So I'm trying to look pretty again for my Asian boyfriend. Anybody have any tips? And then maybe I can get a nice, beautiful Asian boyfriend from Korea, Japan, Taiwan.
It looks like you're enjoying yourself. Oh, yeah, that looks.
Just the word alone gave me a stomachache, headache. Remove my edges, remove this wig. KOREABOOS. What is a KOREABOO? Well, when I first got into K-media, K-culture, Korean culture, I thought that KOREABOOs were the most extreme version, aka like a weeaboo, like the Japanese version. They want to be Korean, they live, breathe, eat, digest, poop out Korean culture, Korean media, K-pop, K-dramas. They believe they're going to marry a Korean significant other and just live in this utopia fantasy land. And if you don't know, I've lived in Korea for a year. I came back to Canada in October last year. And my opinions on KOREABOOs are slightly varied now. Let me explain. In this video, am I vouching, am I condemning KOREABOO actions? Hell no. But let's delve deeper into what a KOREABOO is. What are some symptoms? What did I experience interacting with KOREABOOs in South Korea while I was living there? Am I a KOREABOO? Your Honor, I can answer that right now. No, I am not.
Bye!
Yes, from those videos, you probably are like, okay, got it. I got a good image. To me, that's like an extreme KOREABOO, that you change yourself so much that you want to be Korean. And any observations, criticisms, concerns of actual Korean people that live in Korea or just Korean diaspora who live in the States or Canada, what have you, they just negate, KOREABOOs just negate and don't listen to those observations or criticisms. And that to me is an extreme KOREABOO. To me also, a KOREABOO is someone who refuses to date anyone but Korean people. So that to me was the definition, like when I first got into K-media. But now things have changed a little bit. Why? Because K-media, K-culture is booming right now globally. So naturally, more and more people are interested in this phenomenon. Because when I first got into it, and we'll get into that just now, when I first got into K-culture, best believe nothing was said. I liked it on my own. I didn't harm anyone. I was in my little, my little hole, enjoying my K-dramas and my K-pop, learning the Korean language on the low because I thought it sounded beautiful and I liked the rich culture, but it was not anything like it was today. So I guess let's start with a brief history of how I personally got into K-culture and discovering what a KOREABOO is. So I already I was born in Congo, grew up in South Africa, and I was already aware of the Korean language because I had Korean friends in my middle school, and they kind of stuck together and they spoke Korean a lot. But there was one girl that was in my grade and in my classes, and she was a lot of fun. She wasn't like a class clown, but she was always like chatting, teaching us bad Korean words, and it was just a hoot. So I was just like, Korean people, Korean, cool, down with that. Yep. Now let's move to 2009. I moved to Canada. Befriend some Korean classmates. I remember feeling close to her, and she invited me to her church. If you're watching, I'm not going to say your name, but you know who you are. And another who was in my music class or guitar class. The girl that was in my music class, for some reason, she had an iPad in class that day, and she was watching a Shiny music video. And she showed me the music video, and I was like, who's that? What is that? And she explained, and she was like, oh, it's K-pop, it's from Korea, it's from my country, blah, blah, blah. I was like, and she was like, you should check them out, they're cool, but you won't understand what they're saying. And I was like, don't worry about it, I'm into it, it's fine. So I went home, and I went down this rabbit hole of K-pop hits, Wonder Girls, Shiny. Shiny was my first song. Shiny, Ring Ding Dong, Chemi no, I love you so much, I'm going to marry you one day. Okay, anyways.
와, 맛있다.
Ring Ding Dong, Shiny, Wonder Girls, 2 p.m, 21, Miss A, Beast. Are you freaking kidding me? I was in heaven. I liked it because for some reason American or Western pop wasn't hitting for me like it used to at that time. Now it's okay. At that time I just missed girl groups and guy groups and like just the fun of it all, that like each member had a different role, you know, whatever. And that was all in K-pop, and I was like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. I missed Spice Girls, I missed Blue, I missed NSYNC. So like having this in K-pop now, even though I didn't understand a word they were saying, I was like, I'm into it. The language, I fell more and more in love with the Korean language. And so yeah, went down this rabbit hole. Didn't really, I don't know, I wasn't going to concerts, I wasn't buying merch, it was literally me and YouTube, that was it. And I started learning Korean online as well. Hadn't purchased any textbooks at that point.
I can speak Korean. Hana dul set net asa ahayolgu biedol yashmil hana yol dul yol slut yol net yasa yol.
Did you say slut?
I get to university, Gangnam Style comes out, you know, people are like, whoa, what is this? Like, people focus just on Gangnam Style. I don't think they like get into groups yet, but I feel like BTS is also on the rise. People are curious, whatever. And I was like, oh, people are starting to know what K-pop is, but it's still kind of taboo. Like, not a lot of people know it. Like, my direct friends knew that I was interested in K-pop and dramas at that point, but it was never like a point of discussion really at all. Never. It was kind of something I kept to myself. And then again, I was on YouTube. This was my bubble. Videos started popping up about KOREABOOS, and I was like, KOREABOOS, what is that? So I did my own research. And I felt sick to my stomach because I was just enjoying this little thing on my own, this little very niche thing that I'm not sure many people know about or care about. And it's gotten to the point where it's a thing now. People are like, oh, you listen to K-pop and watch K-dramas? You want a Korean boyfriend? You're a KOREABOO. Don't look at me. You're a KOREABOO. So from that point on, I was just like, hold on, what do you mean? At my ripe old age of 19, 20, I was like, oh, no, I do not subscribe to this definition. Like, I like this thing, but I also like everything else. I can't do country music, I'm sorry, but literally anything else, rock, punk, hip-hop, rap, R&B, like literally everything but country. So I was like, I'm not just this one thing. For a while I just stopped. Like most of my university years, I stopped. I was still learning Korean on the side, but I wasn't as up to date with the groups. Like really, I missed like a big chunk of like second and third gen, but I missed a big chunk because I was just like, oh, people are making it weird now. I can't do this. I don't know if I'm gonna visit, teach. Plot twist, I did end up going and teaching. Okay. To the point where, oh my god, mini side story. On campus, usually the first 2 weeks is like, what is it called? Frosh Week. And, you know, school organizations are usually, you know, trying to recruit and all of that. And I vividly remember walking by the Korean Association's table. And I think they had like because they knew K-pop was blowing up at that time as well. And I think they had some sort of group, I can't remember. They had a group or a K-pop thing that I knew of and was aware of. And I was looking at the booth and I guess they saw me and they were like, hey, do you want to sign up? And I was like, I did not go to a single meeting because of the scary word, KOREABOOS, okay? Fast forward, university passes, I finally get my Canadian citizenship. I can go to South Korea, and I do, and I have one of the best years of my life. Seriously, it's such a beautiful country, beautiful culture, beautiful language, food. Yes, you'll get stares and all of that, and I've covered that in other videos if you want to watch, but to me, it was a life-changing experience, and I can't wait to go back. So that's my history. That was not brief.
Shanice.
Yeah?
Your mouth is moving a lot like a rat. Yappa, 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 yappa.
Now let's talk about what are some like indicators personally for me, okay? The opinions vary, and I guess I'm slightly biased just because I listen to K-pop and I like K-dramas and I'm learning the language, all of that. But even as a person who does that, I can know when people are on some BS and I'm like, ooh, we lost a good one. We lost a sister, we lost a brother. So do I automatically think that people who indulge, who listen to K-pop, K-dramas, watch K-dramas, do I think that they are automatically KOREABOOS? No. That term is being flung around like a little frisbee. I don't think automatically they are. Why? Because the world is at such a globalized state at this point in time that it's impossible for us to not borrow from certain cultures or know certain things about different cultures. Like at this point in time with the internet, it's virtually impossible to not know or take interest or travel to different countries and learn about different cultures. Okay, for me that's like impossible. And we've seen it with other cultures before Korea. Like Korea is the it girl right now, but we've seen it with Japan. Japan is a great example of this. We've seen this with Japan. We've seen this with France. Hello. We've seen this with, I don't know what else. England. Okay. A lot of people think England is hip hip cheerio, Harry Potter, tea crumpets. You know what I mean? And do I think that's necessarily right or wrong? I don't know. That's for you to interpret. But it's just like people have certain images of countries because of like some sort of influence over times. Okay, when I was walking the streets of Paris, I was definitely like, bonjour, oui, oh, la Tour Eiffel, oh my god, a baguette, and want to be beautiful, and I will not shave my armpits ever again. People just do things, and it's the internet, and they're interested and they're intrigued, and let them travel, and then they find out it's not like that, and that's on them, whatever. But I feel like Korea isn't the first country to have gone through this. You know what I mean? Really never know. So it's difficult to just call someone a KOREABOO and you just don't know their background or where they're coming from or what they're doing. Okay, but I've also experienced people that do kind of teeter on that term KOREABOO, right? Okay, My time in Korea, I noticed that there are different types of foreigners. Naturally, we're not all monolith. The people, in terms of like how people live and navigate Korea. So if, for example, Koreabooism is on a spectrum. If it is on a spectrum, side being like straight up Koreaboo and the side being like zero. Usually people on the side are migrant workers or foreigners from everywhere. Doesn't matter where. Foreigners from Europe, other places in other countries in Asia, that are married to a Korean person, and they just had to move because of convenience, and they're kind of learning the Korean language and Korean culture on the go. Like that to me is like they're just there because life happens and they have to be there, kind of thing. Like that's the lower end. And like obviously they get integrated into the culture naturally just from living there, but they didn't really seek it out. Same thing with people that like have to relocate for their jobs, or a specific company has moved to Korea, or like their branch is now in South Korea. Same thing, like they just moved because of convenience, because of work, whatever. Then there are the young workers, university students, English teachers, same thing, where like they probably at some point took interest in Korean culture. They came to Korea, signed up for university, signed up for language courses, maybe graduated from said university, started working in corporate Korea, which like, woo, you are strong. You are strong. English teachers, university students, workers, they are along that spectrum too. We don't know. We'll see. It depends on who you talk to. And then the models as well, all undercover. We don't know if they are or they're not. And then I guess the most extreme case of Koreabooism would be someone who's just traveled to Korea for a very specific reason, namely sexual tourism is a thing. Mainly that, or to be closer to their bias, to be closer to I call the Korean boyfriend dream. That to me is where it starts to get troublesome. That's when I'm like, ooh, ding dong ding. And not just boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, because a lot of men, passport bros, go to Korea as well. So that's the thing. So in that whole spectrum, the issue starts with students, English teachers, travelers, some tourists, not all. That's where the Koreabooism starts to get crazy. Some general red flags. So what are some general indications? For me personally, it's not the same for everyone. Number one, if they come to Korea to date, just solely to date, they touch down, they barely have their T-Money card and there's some card going, and they are already on Tinder, swiping. They come to Korea to date. They want to come to Korea to find their Korean boyfriend, hopefully get that spousal visa, and they want to live the Korean oppa dream. Like they latch hard onto the image that K-pop and K-dramas have given Korean men, and they really hope to find that by traveling to Korea. That to me is a slight red flag. I mean, naturally, if you live in Korea, like especially 6 months, a year, more than that, naturally you're going to go on dates like with a Korean person. Like, come on. The Korean population is like 99% Korean people, so that will happen naturally, but it's the focus on them being Korean specifically that might be a red flag, because at that point you're not even seeing them as a person with thoughts, feelings, observations. You're just seeing them as a fantasy, like he's Korean, she's Korean, this is my fantasy, this is what I want. Yeah, that to me is a red flag. Okay, what are other indicators? Still worry about dating or finding your Korean boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. You don't learn the language. That for me is a huge red flag, because again, it ties to the notion that you are with them solely because they're Korean and they fulfill some sort of fantasy for you. That I've seen quite a bit in South Korea, where like they don't want to learn the language, or it's too difficult, it's too hard, my oppa speaks to me in English anyway. Like that I've seen, and I've been like refusal to learn anything about the language, or they kind of not insult Korean culture, but they have one too many complaints. While having complaints or like general things you don't like about a country is normal for any country, I notice with like KOREABOOS specifically, they have a lot more bad things to say than good things, just because again they were one track minded, they had tunnel vision just to get this Korean partner, and like nothing else matters. So that to me is kind of a red flag. What else? On looks and aesthetics, I am kind of the wrong person to chat about that, because to me a look is a look, and again we borrow from so many things, but I do draw the line at like changing your whole face to look more Korean or more East Asian. Like if you're doing your eyeliner crazy, or like you shaping it crazy, then I'm like, oh, I'm like, Bethy Cathy, your natural eye shape is not like that, okay? But on the flip side, sometimes you do try look like this, for example, eyeliner, glitter, and you do so happen, because a lot of African girlies, a lot of black girlies do have almond shaped eyes. On the flip side, if a black girl tries, you know, Doyeon or Korean style makeup, then you'll get people that are angry and are like Asian fishing or what have you. So it's like, it's very, it's touchy. It's a touchy subject, isn't it? Because like, where's the line drawn? Same with plastic surgery. If it gets to the point where it's like, okay, it's obvious what you're trying to achieve here, a la Ollie London, then I'm like, but Ollie London is like crazy. That's the thing. He's like an extreme version of a KOREABOO. I think there are definitely more subtle versions of that. And same thing with K-pop and K-dramas. Like, okay, that's tricky. That's tricky too, because yes, allow people to do things. These big K-pop companies do want fans to buy their merch, to have these parasocial relationships with idols and stuff like that. But when it gets to a point where it's you live, eat, breathe that only,
What the fuck?